A red spruce tree is a keystone species. It is a part of an ecosystem which is the second most endangered in the United States. At the Southern Highlands Reserve, we are the sole and primary source of red spruce seedlings for restoration in the Southern Appalachian Mountains.
Southern Highlands Reserve is a native plant arboretum and research center located on top of Toxaway Mountain in western North Carolina.
That's one of my main joys of being up here, is that it's not overly populated. You know, we still have this little slice of mountaintop nature.
Our area is blessed to have one of the most diverse plant collections in the world. And so every time we lose something, we lose our diversity and we lose something that's tied to that plant or animal.
The red spruce is our best hope for rebuilding this ecosystem, and without it, we will lose federally listed species. There are over 16 plant species identified with it.
A good example is the Carolina northern flying squirrel. Well, this little squirrel is infected by a naturally occurring nematode called Strongyloides robustus, which keeps the squirrel emaciated and unable to reproduce. But in a wonderful example of the interconnectivity of nature, there's an antidote to this nematode called conifer oil that the red spruce tree produces, and the squirrel, gnawing at its bark, gets the conifer oil, which allows the squirrel to thrive, and through its waste, the squirrel dispenses fungal spores, which serve to nourish red spruce seedlings.
The Red Spruce Project started in 2013 as a grassroots movement across federal and state agencies, concerned citizens, and nonprofits.
SASRI, S-A-S-R-I, stands for the Southern Appalachian Spruce Restoration Initiative. And this is an organization of which Southern Highlands Reserve is a founding partner, along with the Nature Conservancy, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, the North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission, and the U.S. Forest Service. The red spruce tree is a keystone species that covered the high elevations of the Southern Appalachian Mountains for millennia.
It was dominant in the high elevation of all the southern Blue Ridge Mountains, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, and around the turn of the century, what is known to us as the Big Cut, unsustainable logging decimated it.
The entire spruce-fir forest was clear-cut. And once the landscape was decimated, the rains came in and washed away the topsoil, and the succession forest that came in, which is the hardwood forest, took over where these trees once were.
Unfortunately, that leaves them in a place where humans have to get involved. Over the last 100 years, they have not been able to rebound for several reasons. The U.S. Forest has asked us to grow 50,000 trees for this project.
The process of propagating the seeds is extracting them from the cones that are collected in the late summer.
And then cold stratification for 30 days.
And germinate them into greenhouses and grow them out into 1 gallon size pots for installation on high altitude sites.
One of the things we do that helps with the success rate of the trees is we wait 3 to 5 years before the trees get put outside in the wild, in the ground. And this ensures that a mature tree is planted that can withstand the stressors of the environment.
And if you have a 60% success rate in restoration projects, it's considered gold or A+. So we are well above that.
We usually have a 98% survival rate.
In order to complete the Red Spruce Project, we need people to get involved. We need people to help us continue the work that we have done with our partners in the Southern Appalachian Spruce Restoration Initiative. We need people to donate to us, we need people to volunteer with us, and we need people to spread the word.
All of the plants that we've grown have been grown from 20-year-old hoop houses that were old to begin with. We bought them used when we were first getting started in 2002. And what we are going to be able to do with a new state-of-the-art greenhouse facility is significantly aid in the restoration of this endangered spruce-fir forest.
It would light it off like a rocket and new state-of-the-art greenhouse would probably allow us to increase our production tenfold.
And by helping seed our future, by helping greenlight the greenhouse, donors are going to help us make a real difference.
Without our forests cleaning our air, it's not a pretty picture. You know, we need the forest to do carbon sequestering. They're at the top, and we're down here at the bottom drinking this water. So you remove this filter, you get dirty water.
If we can help bolster the red spruce population, I don't think there's any better project you could undertake.
I feel a deep spiritual connection to the land. And every time I walk outside, I am struck by the natural beauty of what's here, how clean the air is, how quiet it is. And I want visitors, when they come, to experience that same emotional connection to the landscape.
I hope that my kids feel the appreciation for the land. That's what I want them to take away from coming to work with me, is to feel appreciative for what we do have. I think that's everything.
We're trying to leave a legacy for our children and our grandchildren. We're trying to restore the rarest forests in the Southern Appalachia in the hope that species, including humans, will be able to enjoy them for years to come.